Okay, I thought I'd give you a quick update where I am with this lap steel. I'm waiting for parts mostly. So what I've got is I've used a piece of hardwood for the actual neck and where all the cables will run, the strings rather. So that's a nice piece of hardwood there. Now I've got this Chinese pickup, which is quite good. I've tested it. I mean, on one of the other videos, you've seen me testing this. The other thing is I've added a tone with a capacitor across it, and we've got the speaker there and a volume control. So that means there's going to need to be 3 holes in here somehow. Now I couldn't get it. This is not big enough to have controls. I wanted controls on the surface, not controls on the side, because on the side you can knock the buttons off and that. So I thought, well, that's no good. So what I thought I'd do is basically address 2 problems with one solution, and the 2 problems are you don't want to damage this. You want to kind of protect this. You also want some space where you can actually play the instrument without knocking any buttons. So the thing I thought of, instead of having to buy some more hardwood, is use the wood I've already got. I mean, I bought a whole section of this for that diddley bow, so I've got a whole bunch of these. So what I did was thought, well, okay, what I'll do is I'll just use a bit of old pine and cut a wedge in it. So that's exactly what I've done. Now I haven't got any decent woodworking tools. I've just got saws and chisels. So basically that groove there was cut using a chisel and a wood saw. So it took me a really long time, and it looks very messy, but it took a long time to cut that groove. But I cut it to fit this this piece of hardwood, and the hole there, that's for the controls, because on the back what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a metal plate, so you won't see, although that looks really messy, when the square plate is on there it won't look messy because it completely cover that. And so that hole there allows me to place these pickup leads through and out. So when I sit that in there, now the pickup leads here are through. Now what's going to happen is this section here I'm going to put a aluminium plate, so there's going to be like a V plate along there. It's just a bit of angle basically, but aluminium angle. And then in the aluminium angle I'm going to drill 3 holes, one for the output, for the audio output, and 1 and 2 there for the volume, one for the volume and one for the tone control. So you'll have a volume, a tone control and a audio output. So basically let me just show you what that will look like. So when the plate, and I just simulate, it won't be a see-through plate, but let's just imagine that's and it's only going to be that wide, but when the plate's on there you can have those 2 controls like this. So there's a volume and there's a tone control. So I'm going to have a volume and tone control, and in this side here I'll then have the audio output hole as well. So that means when you play the instrument, because these now are not on here, it's not going to impinge, and it means also, of course, you can quickly change the volume. So if you're playing a piece, you might want to quickly turn the volume up. So it gives the player a bit more control. I mean, I don't know, because I don't play the guitar, I don't know how useful that is to someone, but I just thought if I can get those controls as close to the picking hand, in the strumming hand, as close to that as I can, it allows them to set the tone, change the tone as they're playing a different piece or something. They might want a higher pitch or something, so they can just go straight there and change the tone. So that's the reason I wanted this bit of pine wood, is basically to protect the wood and also to give enough room so we could put the controls on there and still be able to use this bit of hardwood, which was expensive wood, yeah. So what I'm going to do, I mean, it looks kind of, because it's pine wood, it was quite difficult to work with because it splits so easily. But what I've got is, you can see I've drawn little lines here. What I'm going to do is cut the corners off and keep gradually cutting corners, and then the last bit I will just sand it. So you'll have a rounded edge on there, and rounded edges on here, rounded edges on there. And then when I'm going to glue everything together. That'll give the pine a bit more strength. And then there's a bit of a gap there because obviously I didn't have the right tools. I was just using saw and chisel, so I did manage to get a bit of a gap. So what I'll do is, when everything's working and I've tested it all, I'll take all the pickup off, I'll take all the bits off, so that all I'm left with is 2 lumps of wood. I'll glue them together because obviously I've made enough hole to thread these all through, and then I will just go to town and I'll put some wood filler in there, you know, put some proper wood filler, and then just cut it, shape it all, sand it all, and it should look, it won't look great, but it should look a lot better than it does at the moment. Once you sand it down and use very fine grade sandpaper, it'll bring it up quite nice, and then I'll just stain it and varnish it, and it should look quite nice. It'll look better than it does at the moment. The other thing I had to do was drill all the machine heads, so I've done that. That was a tricky one. So these machine heads are not all fixed yet. They're just not. I haven't fixed them. I just wanted to put them in so you could see what they look like. So I'm waiting for 2 more machine heads to go in these. So I can't actually finish it yet until I get all the machine heads. But I'm going to wire it up with four guitar strings to start with. But I'm also waiting for a bridge, because at the back here we need a bridge so that the guitar strings go through, they come across here, and then they finish at a bridge, and then you drill 6 holes through and you put little ferrules on the back. Well, I'm waiting for a bridge and ferrules, so I can't finish it until I get those. So I think I'll finish everything else pretty much. Well, it's nearly there now. I can't really glue it together until I get that bridge on there. I want to make sure that that's all fitting correctly. So really I'm just waiting for the parts. I mean, it's basically all ready to go. It's just a matter of putting it together, gluing it, waiting for those parts to come through, and it's basically, then it'll be done. Been quite fun making it, and once it's finished it should work quite well. It'll be like an advanced version of the Diddley Bow, but basically a proper guitar, basically what they call a lap steel guitar. So I'll tune it in and see how it goes, and then this is really a test, because if this one goes well, I'm very tempted to build another one with all the mistakes I've made on this one. Just made loads of mistakes, but it was good because obviously that's how you learn. So I managed to split the wood once and had to start all over again, so you know. But you know, that's how it goes. So anyway, I just thought I'd give you an update. I do want to use it for testing out my other tin kits, so I'll be building effects boxes for this. So I needed this to actually build the effects boxes so I could test the effects boxes out. I'll be building amplifiers and not what I've already, like I say, on the last video I showed you the little matching amp that I built to match this pickup to a normal amp. So I needed some way of matching it up. So, and also with that little matching amp, it had an output socket, so you could put some headphones on, so you don't need to plug this into a guitar amp or anything. So yeah, so that's it really. Yeah, like I say, subscribe if you want to leave any comments, and yeah, do. And hopefully on the next one it should be well, I'm hoping that by the next one I'll have it all finished. So yeah, I'll see you on the next video.